Okay, it's time to start streaming the new trading session here because we had some important market moves and we're going to see how our portfolio is doing, and we're pretty much getting liquidated. But it's not so bad. We're basically back to the $1,000 we started with, even though there were many moves and we were almost very close to winning the entire challenge. We got back to 0.0. Which also means that we're going to do some cool stuff right now. So let's get started with revising some of the positions we were doing and also talking about the next steps, because the next steps are really cool. And what I'm going to talk about in this video is we're going to do a little bit of reshuffling. We're going to go away from Hyperliquid right now into a couple of other exchanges, primarily with Lighter, and I'm going to go with Aster. And the reason for that is both of those exchanges will have pretty soon token generation event, TGE. There's going to be an airdrop to all the traders, so we want to maximize our chances. And even though we might not be able to be go to like $10,000 and beyond, we actually could get many points. To some extent, it's a really pity I didn't start the challenge right away on Lighter, on some other exchange that had points, because this way we could have already many points along the way. So even though it would be break even, we would have more points along the way, because there might be some kind of Hyperliquid season 2 or season 3, depending on how you count it, but it's only coming probably like next year or maybe even beyond that. Hyperliquid has no incentive right now to do this. So first of all, just to save on time, I'm going to withdraw what we have, or maybe revise what we have and then withdraw, to just be fully transparent. So right now we're back at $1,035, which means that we have $35 of total PNL, which is still positive. At the top we had close to $4,000, right? Or 4,000, yeah, that was close to $4,000. That was the top. And basically since last week, since I did the trades, we went down. Basically we get liquidated on Fartcoin, Pengu and Enna. Basically everything went down, even though those are very good moments to beat that, but still you are sometimes getting unlucky with the market positioning, even though the rationale I think was pretty good. We had good stops also, which means that we haven't lost everything. We're good to restart, and we're going to do that in this video. So let me note that for what happened on the 22nd. Maybe first of all I'm going to also check that check what's happening and whether the stream is really live everywhere. So let me check whether everything is working fine. Yeah, Twitter is definitely working. I'm also checking whether we are live on YouTube, assuming that everything else should be fine. Yep, it seems like YouTube is also working well, so we are good to have everything here. Yeah, good to go then. I'm going to summarize. So PNL, we basically went to $135, right? Currently, and that was down from 2,722, which means we did minus, okay, short calculation, 160, like 87. Is that right? I'm going to check in my mind everything. That should be 100. This is going, I think this is fine. So 13 to 270, and then yep, this is fine. This is fine. So this was our last PNL, and basically what we did, we had this Enna, Fartcoin, Pengu pump and small Sol short. So actually we won this short, as you can see from the, let's go at the look at the trade history. our short, the hedge was really small. We hit it perfectly, though that we should have, in the retrospect, of course, we should have done a bigger hedge. Maybe I can, in retrospect, should have done a bigger hedge with Sol. Didn't happen. Market super down a couple of percent, but if you play on high leverage, this is basically liquidation level. So we should have done a bigger Sol hedge. As you can see, this was a win here. We did like $150 on that, but we lost a couple hundred on each of the positions of Fartcoin, Penguin, Anna. Now, I really regret not doing that on Lighter or Aster, because if you think about it, this gives a lot of points. So liquidations usually give a lot of points for all those kind of positions. So let me first of all, okay, so we noted that. Let me start the withdrawing process, going with the max amount here, withdrawal to our Arbitrum. So we've withdrawing from Hyperliquid. That will take a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to put it directly to Lighter and Aster. So I have nothing on Aster right now. I have like $60 on Lighter and some points already on the leaderboard, but well, not even a single point. And there are a lot of people, but we're going to do a little bit of farming. I think we have time until November, so it would make sense to do something. And then I'm also going to change a little bit what we're doing, because we also probably will be doing like longs on one exchange, shorts on the other kind of stuff. So with a little bit of delta neutral things going in order for our capital to last longer, and also possibly to get liquidated on some of the exchanges, because the alpha here, the insight here is that you get a lot of points for getting liquidated, and you don't want to get liquidated with, too much of the capital, or like at least have something on the other exchange longing stuff. So ideally we'll be playing, both sides, especially in a market like that, I'm not sure what will happen next. We're going to revise some of the positions also. This Lighter, we're going to revise Hyperliquid mostly. As you can see, we were beating good levels, right? We were beating a small retracement. Unfortunately, the market went down even more. So especially with things like Fartcoin entirely going down, this can retrace even more. And then we had also Pengu getting liquidated here. There might be a small reversal now. We're going to have a look at all of that. And then also what we had Anna for Etina, also liquidated around those levels here, but we had this crazy week down. So everything getting liquidated. We are back to $1,000. And from here, we're going to make it, I think, even though right now the game is a little bit different, we're going to do a lot of really crazy positions, getting sometimes liquidated on purpose. But the plan here is that even if we entirely blow up the account, we still make it back in points coming from the exchanges. So that's the plan, and that's why we're playing on the two exchanges, Lighter and Aster. So let's start with depositing. I hope is it already there? Let's see. Arbitrum. No, we're still waiting for the Hyperliquid withdrawal order. Yeah, still pending, so probably that take a couple of minutes. We're going to come back to that because we're going to play more on Lighter. The cool thing about Lighter is that, at least for now, it's entirely zero fees. So we're not going to pay fees. This is going to be great. You have fees on Aster, but on the other hand, you can do like really crazy stuff on Aster because you have up to 1,000 leverage, at least on BTC, that you can do really crazy leverage. ETH probably too. You have automatic take profit at like 4x, right? But even though if you go with perpetuals, you'll be able to trade with up to 100x leverage. And this is really crazy because most of those exchanges allows you to have much smaller much smaller leverage, you know, like 50x maybe or 20x. Aster is really going hardcore. So we're going to do that. Also, we're going to, oh yeah, we have the funds here. So we're going to deposit $50 into $50 into Aster and $500 into Aster and $500 into Lighter to have the went through. Let me check. Yeah, no, I just approved it. Now it's going to get deposited. Yep, deposit went through. We have to wait. Same for Lighter right now. Deposit. Do we have it here? Maybe I should refresh it. Yep. And we're going with, or even 530. We're going to do max here, not to waste any kind of capital. So we have basically $1,100 on both of the exchanges, and we're going to do some cool stuff with it. So yeah, the collateral is on the way. We probably have to wait another couple of minutes. In the meantime, fresh start. So let me note that we have on Aster around 6 on Lighter. And the goal is to also farm PERP DEX points. So if you haven't seen that, I did a calculator. It's available from my Twitter if you want to go there. It's pinned right now. The first link here. You have a calculator for different airdrops, depending on what you expect it to happen. So for example, if you go with Lighter, I think this is pretty much the standard thing would be something like 5 or like 4. Basically, if you expect the valuation of the fully diluted valuation to be something between like $4 or $5 billion for Lighter, then 1 point, and with the airdrop being 15%, then the airdrop should be around $50 per point. So 1/3 of the point, it's still like $12, right? So even I mean, you quickly see that it starts to make sense, right? This is the couple of trades I did with like, I think something like $70 of capital or something. So starting with on those exchanges makes sense for you to actually trade, because you get incentivized even to get liquidated. Even if you don't trade well, sometimes you get great points. Of course, nothing here is financial advice. Crypto is risky. You can lose everything and not get any points, or those exchanges will not reward you in the way you expect. So you have to keep that in mind. But this is looking good. So we're going after Lighter points, and we're going after Aster points. You don't have the calculations here for Aster. I haven't included here. You can go it through just DEX, standard DEXs and exchanges here, and click on Aster. The reason for that is that they already have the token, so this is not going to be TGE. So you know all the details. The only thing that you didn't probably expect, or there should be something here, is that Aster decided to actually airdrop, like I think a couple of percent. They plan to airdrop 4% of Aster total supply, and with the current price of around $2, that's around $700 million or $600 million, and you have time until 5th of October. So we're going to play these markets until, you know, pretty much we have a week and so it really makes sense to play it until then, and then we go from Aster to, I think, Extended or some other exchange, and we're going to play Lighter until TGE as well, which should be probably November, December. So waiting for the deposit. With Aster, you have to remember that it's depositing in USDC, so you have to transfer it to spot in order to change the USDC into USDT and then transfer it back, the USDT back into perpetual account. We're still waiting for the deposit, I guess, until we can start playing. Anyway, we're going to explore the markets right now. So the cool stuff here is that, well, we had a lot of price action that was unexpected. If you look at it, especially with, you know, Ethereum going back to the pre-4,000 levels, Bitcoin going below 110, and also a lot of price action accumulated in recently in Aster, also Plasma, STBL. So those new tokens that appeared on the market, and even though they did amazingly well, they're retracing right now a little bit with the general sentiment in the market. Okay, we already have the deposit here on Lighter, so that's good. And what I'm planning to do is, and we have the USDC here as well. So yeah, so let me transfer that. So with Aster, you have to transfer between PERPs, because all the PERPs are in USDT. So you have to go to spot. Firstly, change that into USDT. So I'm selling everything, and then transfer it back to the PERPs. So it's a little bit like the UX with Binance, pretty much. Transfer it back, right? We're transferring that. It takes a couple of clicks, but basically you have it all here. Yeah, and we're ready to go. So there are a couple of things that I wanted to do probably in this video. I want to definitely use Aster and Lighter. Aster will be definitely more capital efficient because you have this crazy leverage, and when you pair it with a Lighter for delta neutral positions, we can do pretty nice volume, because, you know, with something like 50x leverage, 100x leverage, we can play up to like thousands and thousands of dollars. But we're trying to, so I'm not betting on any direction in the market. As a reminder, let me maybe remind the rules of the streams. Everything here is has to be on stream, so I'm not taking any trades outside of the streams, and that's why what I'm doing is basically trying to have take profits and stop losses set up in a way that they work for me, meaning that if they get hit, the position will get closed. This is what happened last time on Hyperliquid, right? Because well, I got hit with liquidations, and here I was hit with take stop losses. So basically this is what happened. Here we're going to also have different take profits and stop losses, and also set up in a way that if it's get liquidated on one exchange, we're going to take profit on stop loss or on the other. That's the premise here. Maybe we do it in a way that's, you know, a little bit to our side, meaning that if one position gets liquidated, the long part, then we let the short part run a little bit longer to maybe take some kind of a profit on it. Of course, it's a little bit more risky because we could be exactly on the verge of the level that gets liquidated. So in this case, we're going to lose two positions probably, but we're going to see. So maybe as an example, I'm going to show you what you can do here. Probably not going to bet Bitcoin. I'm going to bet ETH, and then for maximum volume, and also some smaller coins. So the alpha here is, let me just define it. I also put it in the points calculator because I think it's good to have it all in one place. This is what's working on most of the DEXs. And then I'm basically going to use that to have that in mind for trading in the end, we want to not lose capital or at least make money. So ideally, we want to put good limit orders in place, both also in the case of stop losses, take profits. We want to have that in place. Then we want to maximize trading volume, but the volume doesn't work always. I'm not sure it works on Aster. It definitely doesn't work on Lighter. So it really doesn't matter whether you have a lot of volume. You can get a lot of. I did some tests around, and basically I managed to get the same amount of points where I did like $1 million of volume or like $1,000 of volume, but I just was beating in a different way. So that's one alpha that I can share. It's not about the volume, definitely not on Lighter. So what you can try to do, and this is start to work really, is try to beat assets that are more niche assets. So you're going after smaller coins, or in the sense that there's less open interest on them, less volume, things like Easy, Proof, Ktoshi. Those are good. Ideally, you want to have assets that are also have, like, for example, 10x leverage in order to really maximize capital. So Popcat would be here ideal example. With Aster, you have more choice here because they have many more assets, and they have like super small assets that for some reason have like 50x leverage. So you can go really degen on those kind of assets, and ideally that would give you a lot of points. So we're trying to actually get some of those assets maybe in one direction, or those smaller ones, because you can just use things like, I don't even know what it is, but for example, I'm just looking at the chart. Maybe for the things I know what they are for example, Open Ledger, AI protocol. They had recently they did the TGE. Let me just confirm everything here. Okay. Let me just go with isolated. A couple of changes. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, 50x leverage. So ideally I would do something like even, getting minimal exposure to things like this is basically costing me like $4, right, to open. Oh, I can't even. Yeah, with coins like that, there might be not enough liquidity. So the ideal thing you do is actually you put limit order, put it like 1% or like right, and you managed to open that with the limit order, so that worked perfectly. This is super small, right? So I actually did a margin, isolated margin of like 12 cents. And actually, I don't care about this position. This is something that I want perfectly. I'd love that to be liquidated, because then we can get some more points. If it's going to be a win, that's cool too. But this is mostly about getting liquidated. So that's one of the things that I want to do. Because this is part of this strategic liquidations, and at the same time we're trading niche assets. So this is the two things that I really love to combine, because they are giving you a lot of points. Unfortunately, we won't be consistent because we're trading mostly on stream. So we want to do it, do it really on stream and show you the results in the end for how many points we get and stuff like that. So this is going only to happen on stream. I won't take any more trades outside of that. Of course, I'm trading on my own, but not showing it on stream, because here I want to have everything live. So the plan right now is to have a couple of those positions that are super degen, but with things like Open, maybe some other also coins that are looking good on the chart and go one or two direction, or just beat on that. Also, I know Tree, I guess, yeah, for Treehouse. I think the same thing. I can go with max leverage and basically beat on that, taking what's the minimum quantity is 2. Am I? Yeah, so just have a limit order opened here. That's good. So this is one of the things, type of things that I want to do. This is especially good on here on Aster because you have such a large leverage. With lighter, you have to do something more. You also have those smaller assets, but you really want to. Ideally, you don't have such a high leverage available to you. You can go with things like, for example, PopCat. Also, the fact that I'm changing to isolated is related to the fact that I want to get liquidated and I don't want to get liquidated on cross, because cross means, you use the margin, the whole margin is for all the positions. So if you, in the event of liquidation, your cross margin and remaining open positions under assets will be liquidated as well. I just want to have the positions liquidated one by one. That's the strategy here. Also, ideally, I won't get liquidated, but I'm going to show you something that can happen. So let's see, I'm going with the $500 position for, let me just check it and have it on. Oh, there's no PopCat here. So actually, yeah, I need to choose something different then. But there's definitely TIA. TIA is not really beat here. Let me look at TIA. Oh, no TIA. That's what else? Huh. Okay. We have to find something that's on both of the exchanges and is pretty small, but also have higher leverage here on, yeah, probably Bitcoin. BCH would be a good idea here, because let me check whether, yeah, you have it with 25x leverage here. So basically we're going with max leverage here. I'm going to show you one of the examples of what I wanted to do here. Here, okay, we're going here. This is going into isolated as well. This is max, yeah, 10x, and then let's go with the, okay, 10x. We can go with, for example, 500x buy here. And 500x sell here. I just want to make sure we are. Okay, I think we have it. Yeah, so this is one of the things that I wanted to. So we have positions for BCH here. And we have it on both of the exchanges. Now this is entirely delta neutral, right? I'm paying for fees basically, where no fees on lighter, a little bit of fees I think on Aster. If we look at trade history, yeah, there's a fee here, but it's also pretty minuscule, so that's fine. And now what I wanted to mention is that we, for example, should have put the stop losses at the stop losses and take profits for both of the positions. So it's going to get liquidated at 552. So that's our. So that's fine, because we're going to use it for the take profit on the other position, right? This is the long here. So take profit here. This is good. We might even put it a little bit higher. And this is good. On the other hand, you see this liquidation position here, and this is what we're going to put on Aster, which will give me take profit here. I'm going to give it even a little bit lower, right? Bam. So yeah, so what I did is actually I only put take profits, no stop losses, because the stop loss for us will be just liquidation, and that's the ideal scenario, and I let it run. Now, ideally, so this is also something that you can optimize, because what you can also compare and make sure that it works in your fashion is look at the funding rate. I didn't do it here with this position, but we can do it with the next one. The funding rate is actually how much you pay for the position to be opened, and this changes across the exchanges. So here it's actually, let me just compare it, 1 hour, this is 4 hour, oh, this is 8 hour. So I have to do some kind of a computation here. So it seems like you're paying, yeah. So if it's positive, long space, the shorters, right? And this is, the funding is smaller on Aster, because you have to divide that number by 8, right? This is what you get by 1 hour. Here you have 8 hours, so it's smaller on Aster, meaning it's cheaper to have longs open on Aster. So yeah, so it means basically that if I, on top of that, if I open, so this is in a wrong direction, meaning I should have opened long on Aster and shorted on lighter, and this would give me a couple of % of profit as I hold the position, because what can happen is that we're going to oscillate in this scenario, and I'm not getting liquidated on any of those positions, which means that I'm not making any money on those. Also, here I have those super small positions for those two assets. I'm going to do a little bit degening of like that on lighter as well. So I'm basically going to, what I'm doing is basically choose the asset with the smallest open interest. For some reason, that's easy. I've been seeing that over and over, and we basically pick one direction. You don't even care about whether you're going to win that position or not. If you win, that's cool, but basically what you should do is use, I don't know, like 1% of your capital here, and we're going to, or maybe even smaller, we can go with like 10 USD position, and we're going to place buy order. So it's basically using $2, that's the margin. No stop losses, no take profits, we just let it run. This is the idea for some of the farming, so we can do that with a couple of other stuff here. We can do that with POPCAT. As I've mentioned, this is pretty cool. Let's go with also long. Also a reminder, I'm doing that purely for points. I'm not sure about the market direction. I think that's why it's a good time to really do this challenge, because I'm a little bit stopping on like trying to get, with the perps, because for the next couple of days, I'm not really sure whether we go down even more, whether we go up, whether there's going to be a rebound. So I'm just going, in this video, I'm just going to put those kind of different delta neutral positions and different random positions that I want to get liquidated, but they're going to be, with like a margin of like a couple of dollars. The idea is that we're going to try to maximize the amount of points we're getting in the way that in the way that will allow us to get as many points as possible. So we're going to get this thing in order. So this is already cool. The idea is to have a couple of those smaller positions on both. Also, a reminder is that especially on lighter, you don't get points for putting the capital into the lighter pool. Well, they have very cool APR. So if you just want to farm stables, you can do that, but you won't get any additional points. I'm not sure about Aster, whether you get points if you are farming. I haven't farmed Aster before, so I have no experience. I'm trying to do the same stuff that I've seen with Hyperliquid, lighter, extended, but I'm not sure whether Aster really works the same, because here you can go, I think there's definitely earn, and you can do a couple of other stuffs. So you have points here, and you can trade to climb the ranks. Again, we have not really much time, so we're going to see how much we're going to trade and get points. it would be cool to participate in the rewards because they are so substantial and you have only a week. And I expect like not a lot of people will really go hard about farming that, except for the farmers in the past. So the idea here is to get at least $500, so at least the amount we put into to get back from farming points, and maybe even more, especially that it's such a short notice and we can do that pretty quickly. So for that, I'm going to open a little bit more of those random positions with that has like the lowest volume possible, and we can basically take limit orders. Again, max leverage. I don't even know what these coins are doing. The idea here is that we're just putting limit orders for that and maybe getting liquidated, maybe not. We're going to have this, for this basically uses, we can probably do a mixture of open interest, of shorting and longing, especially that shorting pays us in a funding rate. So maybe I go with this. Basically costs us around $2 the positions. So Sapien, we're going one by one. Yeah, it's really crazy that Aster allows you for 50x leverage. So we're going to use that. Make just sure that if you're doing the same, you're really putting isolated, because you don't want to get liquid. You don't want to liquidate your entire account on, by having one thing going. Yeah, for some reason it stopped seeing my capital. Yeah, it's back. Okay, we have this QSDT. Same thing. We're going for like 100 USD position, or maybe we can go crazy even and go with. If I were to do 1,000, yeah, we can do it that. So it's like 1,000 notional position, but the capital we put in is $20, right? So we have a lot of things here. So two shorts, we have this delta neutral position. We're going to put a couple of them as well, so we can make them much larger, because even if they get liquidated, we really don't lose capital on what, this is the game between Lighter and Aster. So QSDT, let me see what other small coins you have here. We keep going. We keep going, basically. We keep going with the list. Also, I have a, let me just, there was only like $2,000 volume. So maybe if we put I'm going to put like almost double the volume here, right? By putting, what do we have to put? A buy order. We have, no, for Sapien, we have sell. So we're going to put sell. Bank. $20, but I think it's worth spending that and trying. We're trying to maximize the points that we're getting, so worth trying. So we have this open order for Sapien, $1,000 position. So you're going to see much higher volume right away, right? So we're doing the market for that, for that coin, because nothing is really happening here. Okay, what else? We can do with a couple of other coins that are super small here, and charts look absolutely terrible. I'm going to go with limit orders, isolated. Just, random buy, why not? It's $2 right now. We're going to see how much points we get in the end, because those points are getting quickly added to the leaderboard. So that's going to be cool. Okay, let's click around for Lighter as well. We have maybe let's short something smaller. So yeah, I have easy. Let's go with why not proof. Just change it to isolated. We're going to short it even more. We're going to, with like $30 position here on isolated. So we're paying $10 for that. Ktoshi, same thing, isolated. Let's go. Oh, the funding is super negative, so we're going with long here. $30. Place market order, bank. With 3x leverage, actually, it's going to be hard to get liquidated on those because the price would have to fall down by 33% or something. So probably we're going to keep riding those positions, which is good. I mean, you can pick also the positions that are unpopular in the sense that you get paid in the funding, because sometimes you just get back what you would lose in terms of what the market makers will give you. So if, for example, longs paying the shorts, like is the case of Ktoshi, or the other way around, you get paid for actually longing the coin because the funding is negative, then actually it makes sense maybe to hold it if you expected the price to not go another 20% down or something. So that's a good strategy. Okay, we have those positions. I'm going also to put higher positions on, I think, either Solana. We can probably do both Solana and ETH, or at least let's start with Solana. So 25x leverage to be on the cool side, and we're going to do the same with what we did for Bitcoin Cash, which is delta neutral position here and on Aster. So let me get ready with those two positions. 25x leverage. Again, the plan here is to get liquidated on one of the exchanges ideally and just take profits on the other one. So we're going to go with the market order here, and then this might be our larger position on both of the exchanges. Let me just look at the funding this time. Slightly positive on Lighter, and it's slightly positive on Aster, pretty much the same, so it doesn't matter. Maybe this time I'm going to long on Aster and short on Lighter. So let me check what we can do here. Maybe go with $2,500 position, which is basically $100 USDT spent. So I'm going to go long here, and I'm going to short the same amount here. Yep, we have it. I think it's good. Now let's put the liquidation prices here. So we're going to use that to go to Aster, take profit. Maybe even slightly higher, we go with 999. And then the liquidation price here is 100. Oh, did I open the... I opened it, yeah, so I have to close this one and open again, because I opened by mistake cross instead of should be fine now. Yeah. Yeah, okay, this is better. So we have this position, and this is the liquidation one that we want to go with on Lighter with the take profits. Sorry, need to do it again here. No. Basically 192 is the thing that I want to put in. Yeah, and we can see that we can go a little bit lower. Even so, looking at those levels, we can, but this is already cool. So this is the kind of the game that you can play, and if you really want to make it to the next level, you can play this game in a pro way trying to, you know, arbitrage it with a bot and then having those kind of orders, monitoring them and so on. This is what I'm trying to work on right now, because I think there's something to be made here that's pretty interesting. So yeah, so we're having this delta neutral position pretty much. I just want to see how much capital we have at play right now, and also what are we doing. So let's see at the portfolio. Yeah, especially I want to be a little bit more aggressive on Aster, because, you know, there's a little bit of time. This is the gamble worth playing for trying to take as many points as possible. So with the remaining capital, what I want to do is I want to put limit orders in place. So things that might give me points if I hit them, but also this is something that sometimes makes sense. So we're going to go with, for example, also make sure that to have isolated. We're going with 100x leverage here on Ether. So I'm going to put 360, and with the size of, say, also $2,000. Do we have, yeah. So I'm just going to put, you know, like a random limit order, maybe not so random. This is like a good level to try to buy it if it goes to. This like in the between those. Same for lighter. We're going to test something similar here. Let's go with if buy. If mostly because we have, you know, we can do much more volume, so we can try to do like 10,000 volume order for the limit at 360, but maybe or we can go the other direction, meaning we can try to, if goes up, we can try short it from some of the, you know, like let's go with let's go to the other way. $10,000 order on 44444. We're going to short from there if that happens. So I think this is a pretty cool level. And yeah, we have a pretty nice set of different positions. This is the kind of the game that I want to play right now. Again, I'm going to look at the market and what's happening. We're going to go for some of the liquidations now. The idea here is, again, to explain everyone that just joined. This is the usual premise of this trading futures. We're going from $1,000 to $10,000. We are basically from 1,000, we went to almost to 4,000 at one point, back to 1,000. And right now we split the funds from Hyperliquid to Aster and Lighter to farm some points in the meantime, because those exchanges will have TGE pretty much soon. And usually we do like per trading, trailing stop loss and so on. That's working pretty much well, unless of course we have these down movements that are super bad. So what we're going to do is have delta neutral positions on Lighter plus Aster, longing on one, shorting on the other, mind the funding rate. So if you know, we were talking about that. For that we have BCH, if Sol, basically, well, BCH Sol plus limit orders on if. That's already cool. And then small positions with max leverage on niche assets, low open interest, low volume. This is so we have until for Aster and probably mid-November for lighter. Yeah, so this is the premise of this. We're trying to take the most out of the opportunity that we have right now. Also because we're not taking any direction because we don't know what the market will do. This is the reason. Market shaky right now. Not taking any directional bets. Just farming. So this is the goal. We don't want to, risk too much of the stuff. We just want to, have this in place so that the points will farm. We can definitely leave those for more. Also, one of the notes for farming lighter, I think if you the longer the positions are holding, the better in general. If you just try to open close, that definitely doesn't work, and you won't get anything when it comes to points. So that's one of the things. I was already talking about the volume. The volume doesn't make anything on lighter, so it's fine, especially for smaller accounts. If you have no size, no volume, and even farming with like couple of dollars makes sense really, because there are no fees and you can make super small positions. I don't know what's the minimal actually. So let me try it. Let me see what kind of the probably on BTC I can make something super small. Let me see what's the minimal position I can take on BTC. Never tested that. Oh, okay. So the minimal one is okay. Cool. Yeah, so the minimal position that we did, position value is basically margin of 44 cents. So this is pretty crazy, right? So you can really do some stuff even if you have such a minimal size. Let me check what's the size on Aster that you can take. Also BTC, because that would allow you the biggest leverage usually. So we're going with maybe long position here. Long changes to isolated. Okay, let's see whether I can do, I don't know, $1. No, the minimum is 1 point. So let's see how much BTC is that. Okay, that's the minimum one. So we're going to short that, or maybe no, cancel. We're going to long that. Why not? Yeah, so the minimum leverage is probably around $1 here. It's a little bit higher than lighter, but it still shows you that you can really do a lot of stuff even with like very little capital in the end. Cool. Probably going to put more positions maybe in place. Let's see what's happening. So if I were to farm, I mean, I'm farming them. If I were to farm them even more, probably I would, try to also do something with stop limits here. There's also advanced orders on lighter. No one's never really talked about them, whether they actually give you any points, but maybe they do, like, swapping or like doing something else. Maybe they do something. We can test them. Why not? I mean, for like the super swapping, like 1% order value. let me try with maybe, or let's try with the minimal amount that's possible. That should be it. Place swap, bang. Okay, so we have a swap order. Pretty cool one. Never tested that actually. Just got this idea right now. We're going to see probably next week. Points from Lighter are coming on, I think, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. I think early Wednesdays or late Tuesdays. And for Aster, they're pretty much on the ongoing basis to a certain extent. I think so, like every day. Is that rewards points? 0 points right now. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to see probably during next stream how much points we got. And if market gets better, then probably we're also going to do more directional bets because that's the... Oh, I just see that we did good. It's positive, but we're going to have... We had one cross margin position. We don't want that. So I just close that. Maybe I'm going to open that again. But this time on the isolated margin. Yep, we have it back with isolated. I need to check also on Lighter whether it's all isolated. We don't want to, lose all the capital. It's basically, you can see it by looking at even liquidation price. We have here, it's all isolated. Yeah, cross leverage is 0, so that should be that's indicating basically that it's fine. Cool. Yeah, let's have a look at the market, because especially in the past 24 hours, a lot of longs were liquidated, as you can see by the stats here. If it's green, then it means that the longs are liquidated. If it's red, then it means that it's shorts. Well, so in the last hour we had a small rebound on Ethereum. That's why it's getting liquidated. Otherwise, longs are getting liquidated. And if you look at the general market, you can see that a lot of stuff is super red, except for the new launches. You have Plasma, which is of course super positive. Mira, I see it probably just launched today. I think so. This is the, if I remember correctly, that's the project, AI project. Need to, yeah, I think so. So that's cool. I probably need to check whether oh, cool stuff. Okay, so Mira is, so apart from some of the new projects, you're basically having a really retrace across the board, especially if you look at the past 24 hours or 7 days. There are a lot of, well, Aster is of course super positive. Here, Plasma, well, already started pretty high here. But apart from that, you have, Pump.fun was just super pumping lately from the, from the price. It retraced basically everything. If you look at them, it started here, then it went to around 0.002, super high to 0.008, did almost 4x. You could definitely have a lot of time to jump in on that trade, and now it's retracing almost everything. And overall, it doesn't look great for the market. I'm not sure what's happened next. I mean, I have in mind two theories that both can play out. One is being, this is basically the end of the cycle things. We're just going to rotate across the board over, new launches. In this case, you should be in stables and just, participate with your stables, jumping into new launches if they're cool, jumping out after some time, and this is probably what will happen in the market. Another stuff is that this is just would be waiting for the better pricing, and just if Bitcoin goes below 100,000, Ethereum goes back to, I don't know, 3,000, 2,000, I'm not sure what's going to happen here, then it would be a good point again to bet. And in the meantime, just, farm those PERP DEXs, bet there on the price, and get points while you actually trade along the way. This is probably the best bet right now I can think of. And apart from that, it's just waiting for the better moment. The second scenario is that this is just a short moment of down movement, which was expected in a bull market, blah, blah, blah. We're still going higher. And the thesis for that is that stock market is super high. Gold prices are at all-time high. Generally speaking, the economy is looking better and better. Probably we had those rate cuts, more rate cuts are coming along the way, but maybe that's not true. Maybe we're heading towards a recession. So you have to have two things in mind. I'm definitely more on the risk management side, trying to be risk averse right now. I'm going crazy, with perps and trying to do those crazy positions in order to get points. But apart from that, I'm really just holding a couple of smaller things. So for example, Facey recently, one of the AI projects, which is really cool, but and trying to find projects like that. But basically that's it. So Facey is for the fact checker. It's still pretty low regarding to what it is and how good it's working in the Web2 world as well. So that's one of the cool things here. Of course, not financial advice. Crypto is risky. You can lose your capital, blah, blah, blah. So do not enter unless you understand the project and know what you're doing. But yeah, I'm just looking at, at some of the smaller things here. And also when it comes to the majors, instead of building spot position, I'm still just looking at perps and trying to trade them, because I think there's more upside in going after those different kind of DEXs that you have and trying to maximize your airdrop, especially that with some of those perps is a good idea. So for example, especially after lighter TGE, I guess one of the most popular ones will be extended, especially here that if this launches with something like even $1 billion, then the TGE is expected. I think that also they said that they're going to airdrop something like 30%. So with $1 billion, that's $6 per point. It's much easier to get points. Also, they also more volume based than lighter, so you can do a lot of volume and try to get points there. Of course, the fees are higher, which means that to some extent you're paying. But if they're going to get even around $1 billion, that's already good bet. If they even go around, say, $200 million, $300 million, that's already something that might be interesting when it comes to points. And I think this is not unrealistic unless the entire market will go down a lot, or unless we got such a saturation in different DEXs that people will stop caring, stop bidding those. A lot will be seen after Aster airdrop and then lighter TGE. I think especially lighter is expected to be super high, because lighter is already going OTC for those $50. If you go with, let's see, there's a lighter OTC, I think somewhere. You can see the recent what they are selling and what people are buying. So recent orders for lighter are, let me check what they posted. Is this the this is nice of the cost comparison here for trading. A pretty crazy one. It's crazy that actually Hyperliquid is pretty expensive compared to that. Like Maxi is cheaper than Hyperliquid. That would be, I would expect Hyperliquid to be pretty cheap, but it doesn't seem so. Let me check whether they posted the points somewhere, I guess. The recent transactions, I wanted to check them. They have a Telegram where you can check that. Yes, that was back in July. People were saying that for $5 right now. No, I think they had like the. Let me just go with the owner. I think maybe he posted that somewhere. Yeah, you can see that that's from September 15, so a couple of days ago. That was already selling for $33. They're slowly growing because people realize that lighter is cool. So they're slowly growing already. So I think that's cool. Yeah, so if you're also thinking about delta neutral strategies, definitely use the exchanges that, well, lighter definitely gives you the best case for that because they have zero fees, but you also, some of those other exchanges have pretty low fees. DEX, well, Pacifica is also cool on Solana. Extended, you can do this delta neutral positions and get points along the way. So in this way, you're going to earn something when they TGE finally. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, I think that's going to be a stop here. We have pretty nice positions on both Lighter and Aster. Let me check whether we have any questions. Let me know also in the comments if you want to know something. Happy to answer. As a reminder, those streams are mostly Fridays and Mondays. Not every Friday, not every Monday, but mostly. And we're trying to trade as high as possible. Currently, the winning strategy, especially with the market being so shaky, seems to be having delta neutral positions, looking for the better moment, and in the meantime trying to farm as many points as possible both on Aster and Lighter. We're going to see how it performs and whether we can make more than the capital that we put into both of them, which is $500 into both of them basically. So I think yes, I think we can get more from points. That would be cool. We're going to see how high it will get in the end. So let's see. What I'm showing you is basically those different strategies coming from what I also noted here in the pro tips, from strategic liquidations to trading niche assets. There are a couple of things that are worth doing. Using limit orders. Well, consistency, not really. We're going to hold the positions longer because I'm only trading on streams. Otherwise, I'm trying to be consistent on my own wallets that I'm not showing right now. But I think if you're doing that on a daily basis, you'll be fine. Like taking even a couple of positions. I just see the comment from one guy on YouTube, PR1817, that Aster is mostly about volume. If that's the case, then we're going to push a lot of volume next time. But then in this case, then what really might be useful is doing 101x, unless it's excluded, but definitely doing the max leverage possible would be probably the best scenario also. So we're going to push a lot of volume on Aster just to check that next stream to see what happens. Okay, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel and see you in the next stream.